And this weekend, there was an all-out propaganda campaign trying to make it seem as if Israel is intentionally starving the people of Gaza. I hate being lied to, especially by the media networks. They lied to us about COVID. They lied to us about the vaccines. They lied to us about open borders. They lied to us 100 by laptop. Joining us now is Rabbi Willicki, a great friend, and thank you so much for defending me the other day. Rabbi Willicki, you're also the YouTube, people can find you on YouTube, Israel 365. Rabbi, let's just go through the facts here, and then let's get into the lies. What is the situation in Gaza as the truth would bear it out, not the New York Times propagandist network?
Well, if we're talking about the starvation lie, and thank you, Charlie, thank you for having me on to talk about this. It's so important because this is really pure propaganda, as you say. So since the beginning of the war, since October 7th, the whole issue of the food getting into Gaza and how much food is getting in has been weaponized by Hamas and by the whole pro-Hamas crowd. And what they're doing most recently is claiming that there's a starvation crisis. The quantities of food, I'm not going to get into the weeds of the numbers, but the quantities of food that have been brought into the Gaza Strip since the beginning of the war and month over month is enough to feed the Gaza Strip, according to the World Food Program's numbers for what it takes to feed people, for longer than this war has gone on, for about 27 months worth of food. And there's plenty of food getting into the Gaza Strip. But what's happening is that Hamas is trying to perpetuate this narrative that Gazans are starving because starting about 2 months ago, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is run by Americans and is in cooperation with the Israelis, has started distributing food, started distributing humanitarian aid directly to the people of Gaza. And why is that important? Because until they started doing that, the only way for Gazans to get food was to get it from Hamas. All of the tons and tons of food, all the truckloads of food that have been coming into the Gaza Strip as humanitarian aid since the beginning of the war until 2 months ago were brought in by United Nations organizations that were working hand in glove with Hamas. It was going directly to Hamas, and then Hamas would sell it at exorbitant prices to the people, hoard it for themselves, take all the fuel to fuel their war machine, use it to recruit new recruits into Hamas, and it was basically Hamas's oxygen. The estimates now by the United States, by the State Department, is that Hamas has made approximately $500 million just from selling aid to the people of the Gaza Strip since the war has began. So Israel has realized for a long time that this is a problem because while the aid has to get to people, the aid is also fueling Hamas. So 2 months ago, they started this new program where in areas that are under Israeli security control on the Gaza Strip, they distribute the food directly to the Gazan citizens. All the aid is supposed to be free. In fact, there are videos and pictures online of packages marked not for sale being sold by Hamas vendors to the people of the Gaza Strip. So what's happening now is because food is being distributed directly to the Gazan citizens at these distribution centers, that's cutting off Hamas's oxygen because the people can get food directly from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. They don't have to pay exorbitant prices to Hamas, and Hamas is both losing control of the population and also losing their cash flow.
Okay, all right. So I'm not going to go through with this entire thing. It's going to be just tedious. But I do love how, and I mean, I guess that we can expect this type of rhetoric from these types of people. But like, I just love how they've constructed this like elaborately evil boogeyman in Hamas. I mean, first of all, like they're causing all these violent acts or whatever, or they're carrying out all these violent acts, I should say. But then they're just doing all these ridiculous things supposedly. And again, I haven't looked into any more articles about this. I'm like really just kind of going off of gut feeling right here, so I could be wrong. But I mean, like, okay, so the people in Gaza, from what I understand, they're starving. They're being attacked constantly. They probably can't just go to work and make money. But they're being price gouged by their government, which they seem to support. And then the members of Hamas, like, I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense to me because, at least when, like, say that there's like a hurricane or there's like a flood or something, and then people need to buy like water or something, or just goods before like a hurricane hits. Like, at least Americans actually have money to buy supplies. I wouldn't imagine that Gazans actually have a ton of money to buy these these price gouged rations and food and water. I mean, does this make any sense to you guys, or like what is actually being what is the game that they're really trying to play here? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, there's no economy in Gaza. It's like they don't have any money, and so this idea that their own government would be price gouging them is just like, it's almost insulting how stupid these people think we are. I mean, granted, there are people that believe it. I've been attacked on X or Twitter or whatever for pointing this out. I said, look, if you fire a tank round at a church intentionally, you're not a good guy. Just say. And people are going, how dare you? It's Hamas who's doing all these things. And I'm going, okay, they took credit for it. Like, they even said, oh yeah, that was us, but it was accidental. We just pointed at the thing. We looked at the cross on the building. It was like, they're hiding and they're blow it. You know what I mean? And so it's really getting to the point where people are going to be fed up. And frankly, they already are. I just don't know how much longer it's going to go before something really happens, because to insult the intelligence of the people waking up by going, well, no, they're just being price gouged and you just have no idea don't worry. You don't know what's going on. We'll take care of it. You just sit back. It's so stupid.
Yeah, right. I agree. Sarah, any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't really know too much about the specific situation either, because I mean, this is like very recent. I've kind of only heard the Zionist side of this story, so I'm not really sure. But I do know that in the past, the Israeli government has blocked aid from entering the Gaza Strip, even when it's just like the UN or something, like trying to just bring in food, and they've been blocking that. I have a friend who I used to work with who's a journalist, like an American journalist, who will go to Israel and report on this stuff. And there's Israelis at the border bragging, like not even soldiers, just the citizens who are like eating the food that's supposed to go over there and like laughing about it, bragging about it. Like, it's just like that totally has been happening. They have been intentionally starving them. So now when they are giving them this aid, it's like, I mean, they could be legitimately giving them aid to kind of save face, because I think a lot of people are basically turning against the Israeli government, becoming more aware of these crimes. So they're trying to say, oh no, look, we are giving them aid. And I just don't really want to jump to any conclusions about this, because it's not like Hamas is like a super immoral government or anything. So, I mean, it's plausible if they wanted to try to like somehow, I don't know, I guess like kind of raise money for their military efforts or something. I don't know. So I don't want to comment on it, but
it's not like they really need money. They get subsidies from other, foreign governments that I'm not going to comment on any further. Like, I won't say anything else. They just have some other money.
But and my first impression, which I'm glad that I wasn't alone on this, Braden. But yeah, it did seem like I don't think people are flush with cash in Gaza right now. So it's like, if they were being price gouged, how would that help anyone? It just doesn't make any sense. And also too, I am less inclined to believe a government who's, and by the way, I think this has been like fact checked before, but I mean, tell me if you think this is real or not. But have you guys ever heard about this shirt before? This was not like an official IDF shirt, but I guess this was like a shirt that was being circulated among IDF military members. But it's a picture, or it's a graphic of a pregnant Muslim woman, and then it says 1 shot, 2 kills. And I mean, what do we know the IDF for targeting innocent civilians who are trying to get to aid? I know even recently there were videos and pictures of people who were crawling towards aid trucks to get food, to get what little they could, and then the IDF would just take them out because obviously they see them as subhuman. They don't see them as worthy of life, and they see them all as enemy combatants. And then what's that term that the IDF or like Israeli military has? It's like rise up and strike first or something like that. Like they have like a preemptive strike mindset. They're not so defensive, they're more so offensive. So and I think that it's the same when it comes to propaganda. They're they're trotting out this Rabbi Willicki to talk about Charlie Kirk, who, once again, as I mentioned, just had a struggle session with Turning Point presidents the other day to talk about, like you guys don't support Iran, do you? But like you guys don't hate Israel, do you? But I mean, you guys aren't anti-Semitic or anything, so it's not objective, it's not fair and balanced, as Fox News once fancied themselves, but it is obviously just propaganda.